Good evening. Well, I'd like to have got this out a lot earlier tonight, but I wasn't able to because, when you're the only one in the house, and you're used to being the only one in the house, and then someone else is in the house, obviously it's their house, that's how it works, but you're not used to having to share things. I don't mind it at all, it's just, it made it a little bit longer that you guys had to wait for a video. I'm sorry about that, but it's no big deal. I mean, you got your video today, so we're good on that. And I'll get used to this whole fact. I mean, we'll work out time frames so I can be on this computer so I can shoot you guys these videos. And another thing I wanted to mention too, another thing I want to say I'm sorry about right off the top, Mr. Flashback is still out of commission. I have not talked to Will. I didn't get to talk to him today at all. We were actually we weren't busy at work today. It was just a lot for me to do. And a lot for us to do. Excuse me. Product placement, the good kind. Tropicana Farm Stand. Pomegranate blueberry, if you were curious. I don't know why I don't like plain pomegranate juice. I think it tastes awful. But mixed with something, pomegranate is absolutely incredible. I love the taste sensations. I don't understand why, but I do. So, no Mr. Flashback. Will told me that we're probably going to be shooting either Wednesday or Thursday. Well, it's not Wednesday now. And Thursday's the last shot. Well, I'm supposed to work 10 to 3 tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, or if it'll be earlier. I know it probably won't be later. And then AJ and I are going to B-Dubs at 5. What I'm hoping what's going to happen is AJ and I show up at B-Dubs as normal time. Will shows up sometime during the night, and then after everything's over, he would take me home, and we'd shoot Mr. Flashback and a Will tutorial, whatever that may be. I haven't talked to Will yet, but I think what I'm going to propose a Will tutorial to be is maybe one of those things that just irks Will, like really ticks him off this week, like it's bad drivers, or not knowing certain things that you're supposed to know and being expected to know. I'm not really insinuating anything, just anything really. Just what gets Will angry. Or just what he wants to talk about for the week that fits into the criteria of what we don't talk about here on Pop. And I'm sure that's going to work. Plus, there's also some more, I mentioned on Twitter, if you guys are following me, at Suro and Disney. If you follow me on Twitter, you would know that I mentioned something about some new content, some new segments coming to Pop soon. AJ's working on something really cool that we were talking about the other night at B-Dubs. We went to B-Dubs Tuesday night, and like we always do. And basically, he came up with a great idea for a segment. And you know what? I think we're going to roll with it. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm just going to let AJ discuss it if he wants to. If he wants to bring it up on Friday when we do AJ's movie reviews, then we will. If not, then it'll happen when AJ is ready for it to happen. There are some top 10 lists coming in the near future. And I'm looking into a couple other things. Will also, I brought something up. He tweeted something on his Twitter account, at WPadden. If you're not following him, go ahead and follow him. Basically, he said something about, he talked to somebody, I don't know, at college, and says that he is qualified to teach a college class on Batman. Well, I might have to bring Bat Chat to Pop. We'll talk about random Batman things for a half hour, 45 minutes, or an hour, or however long he wants to talk, every single week on Pop. Now, like I said, there's still plenty of room, plenty of time. I kind of feel like Wayne and Garth right now into trying to get people to come to Wayne Stock, saying there are plenty of excellent tickets, like pretty much every excellent ticket left for Wayne Stock. Basically, I'm trying to say is this: there are plenty of opportunities still to join the Popcaster Revolution. I know AJ loves that term so much. And if you guys want to, if you want to contribute to Pop, you're more than welcome to send me your videos taken with your smartphones. And you can send them to wow, long day. I've said so many times with the Twitter stuff, I just forgot. You can find my personal email, which is suroanddisney@gmail.com. And if they're good, like I said, we'll put them on Pop, and we'll give you credit for it. And if you want to be a regular Popcaster, sounds good. Because eventually, things are going to be looking up for this channel. Once everything goes into place, everything falls into place, after college finals are done and there's some more spare time that's included, I think everything's going to fall into place, and I think we'll be just fine. So, other thing, I'm sorry I did not get to review NXT and Smackdown earlier this week. I kind of had a lot to do. We started Pop last week, and a lot of stuff to do with my new position. I can't call it a position. My new responsibilities at work. I guess I'll go with that. And yeah, I'm just really happy today. We got a lot accomplished, and the only thing left to do now is put the trailers in the movie. So, yay! That's awesome. Yay, yes. So, God, my nose is itching. It's driving me crazy. So, because Will had to back out for whatever reason tonight, he didn't really give me one, so I don't know. I mean, he's probably busy for some reason. It is finals week, so hopefully as soon as that's over with, and he can come out to you guys and entertain us all. So, well, God bless. So, basically, since I had a free night, I watched NXT and Smackdown tonight, so you are getting an NXT and Smackdown review, and I think that's how it's going to go from now on. I mean, there may be a time down the road where I find the main event somehow, and I start critiquing the main event. We could talk about that. It's mainly a recap show, say maybe one or two matches here and there. And Saturday Morning Slam, I don't know how that's going to work, maybe not, but NXT is consistently one of the best wrestling shows on television every single week, so I thought I'd talk about NXT, and like I said, last week was our Clash of Champions show. Had some really excellent matches on that card, and this week we got Chris Jericho making his NXT debut, so that's something to look forward to. We started the show off with a triple threat tag team match. Primo and Epico taking on the new tandem of Adrian Neville and Bo Dallas, as well as the Wyatt family, which is Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. So, this match was pretty good, actually, and I like the fact because it was the true definition of a three-way dance. It was elimination rules, and I like that. So, commentary was done by William Regal, Brad Maddox, and Tony Dawson, as usual. So, get to the first elimination of the match. Basically, Bo Dallas. This is an awesome spot, by the way. Bo Dallas spears Epico, and the family comes in. Neville takes Luke Harper out with a drop kick, and absolute chaos breaks down. Primo tries to go for a schoolboy. Neville kicks out. Neville hits a lot of backflips, rolls, lands on his feet in the corner, kicks Primo from the ring apron, goes up top, and he nails British Airways, which is the corkscrew shooting star press, and 1, 2, 3, we have eliminated Primo and Epico. And right after that, literally, as soon as he lands, bam, out of nowhere, Luke Harper just mows him over with a discus lariat, and 1, 2, 3. So you have to understand the fact that the tag team division in NXT is really interesting because of the injury to Oliver Gray, who is the tag team partner of Adrian Neville. We do not have legitimate tag team champions because Gray's going to be out for about 6 months. So, basically at the end of this episode, it is announced by the commissioner Dusty Rhodes, or the general manager Dusty Rhodes of NXT, that Adrian Neville has to defend the tag team titles. And he can pick his partner. Well, he picks Bo Dallas, who I think is the most interesting man in the world. And of course, I'm being completely sarcastic. I think Bo Dallas is very lame. But that team is going to be facing off against the Wyatt family this next week on NXT. So we'll probably talk about that on Saturday morning, if I had to guess. Or Saturday afternoon. Either way, I'm going to do NXT and SmackDown as a tandem from now on. Well, we recap the feud between Summer Rae, who was absolutely gorgeous in real life, by the way, because she was Fandango's dancer. She was the concubine for the evening. And for the European tour, for Raw and for SmackDown, because she was actually, I'll talk about her on SmackDown, we got to see her wrestling side as she faced off against somebody that everybody tells me I need to pay more attention to, the anti-diva herself, Paige. So this match was pretty good, actually, and during the match, Summer Rae locked on an Indian Deathlock, and even turned it on like old school Triple H style, like Terra Rising Triple H style. And it was funny. It was a really brilliant call by Brad Maddox, calling it not an Indian Deathlock, but a Native American Deathlock. It was absolutely brilliant. I don't know why I was going to say gorgeous, but I did. So Paige hits a bunch of hair mirrors in this case, and Rae goes to the floor. Paige brings her back in, launching her back first into the ring apron. Summer goes for the bombshell, which is the spinning side kick to the side of the head. She gets caught, nailed with a page turner, which basically is kind of like the Golden Gate spin, but done with on a burning hammer position, like the torture rack style, like Golden Gate spin, and that's basically what it is. It was a good match. It really was, and I probably need to check out this feud between Paige and Summer Rae because apparently it was pretty good, and this was the blow off, and it was really awesome. Up next, we get somebody that I have talked about since day one. I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. Oh my god, Husky Harris not so much, but I love this Bray Wyatt character. It's such a flashback. Reminds me a lot of Waylon Mercy, and obviously Waylon Mercy never went this far back in the day because back in the WWE, back in the day, the WWF, the New Generation steez they were doing back in like the late mid-90s, like 95, 96, when Waylon Mercy came into the company. Dan Spivey didn't really do stuff. I mean, he did the Cape Fear type stuff. He still did the awesome promos. I mean, the in-ring work wasn't the greatest. But Bray Wyatt has taken this gimmick and he's made it for the new millennium, and he has made it his own, and he is phenomenal at it. I love Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. I cannot wait till he's brought up on television, and this was a very smart decision putting him with Chris Jericho tonight. So, obviously, if I had to pick Jericho's opponent, it probably would have been Cassius Ohno, but to be totally honest, I mean, if you want to pick someone from NXT that is on the brink and about ready to break out, Bray Wyatt's the guy. I mean, Bray Wyatt's going to be a huge force to be reckoned with somewhere down the road. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and I know this match really put him in the good graces of higher-ups in WWE, so hopefully we see Bray Wyatt on television very soon. Like, of course, he was supposed to debut, and then he got injured, and then he basically came back. Of course, he cracked his orbital bone, so he wore, like, the hockey-style mask, and if that didn't really work out very well, he became Bray Wyatt, and oh my god, this gimmick is phenomenal. So, I love this finish. This finish is amazing. It made me very happy. So, I'm going to run it right to you here. So, Jericho gets nailed with a side cross body, which is kind of like a spear type position by Bray Wyatt. And he gets a 2 count off of it. So Jericho goes for the walls. It gets reversed when he basically slides out to the arena floor. Jericho retrieves him. Luke Harper grabs him and knocks him into the ring post. So Wyatt's punching away in the corner. He hits a big splash in the corner. Nice avalanche. He sets up for Sister Abigail. Jericho reverses into the walls. Harper gets up on the ring apron. Jericho hits the Jericho springboard dropkick, knocks him out of the way, and Wyatt goes in. He locks in the walls of Jericho, and he taps. And I like the finish. The finish looked great. And, you know, Bray Wyatt was 100% in this match, and really great showing from him. And I said a long time ago that Bray Wyatt is going to be a breakout star from NXT, and I know that he will be, to be totally honest. I mean, the Nexus stuff, notwithstanding, basically, when it all boils down to it, the character Bray Wyatt is going to be huge in WWE. I guarantee it. He's got everything. He's got the wrestling skill. He slimmed down a bit. You can definitely tell. He's got the wrestling skill. He's got the pedigree. Obviously, he's got Rotunda in him. He's got Wyndham in him. He is excellent on the mic. He plays great mind games. I love the Wyatt family. They're using Big Rig Brody Lee as obviously he's Luke Harper now, and this guy Eric Rowan. Oh my God, that guy is monstrous. And people you just don't want to be near a dark alley with, and just brilliant show. Tell you right now, NXT was phenomenal this week. I loved every second of it. And I'm telling you right now, to be totally honest with you guys, NXT is one of the must-see shows on television. So I'm very fortunate that I have access to Daily Motion and Anthony Farley from the SNS Radio Network Facebook page. Because if not, I would not have access to this awesomeness. And I really wish beg WWE, please, 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 somehow, someway, I don't care if it's on Sci-Fi or the CW, I don't care what it's on, USA, it doesn't matter what it's on, I want NXT to be able to watch on television every single week. It's phenomenal television. So, excellent, very entertaining show. If you get a chance to, track down all three of these matches. These are all really good matches. I mean, the three-way was really good. Summer and Paige was awesome. It really was. I mean, it was your typical Divas match. I mean, I would probably say, and I compare a lot, and I'm sorry about this, but it was more like a knockouts match. It was more like something you would see, not necessarily Shimmer quality, but it was definitely knockouts division, and it was really good. It was really good. I mean, seeing her with Fandango, I never knew Summer Rae could go like that, and she was really good, and everyone is talking Paige up so much to me, and she really impressed me in this match. It was really good, and she didn't just look like Katie Lee mixed with Numi Rapace from the girl with the dragon tattoo. She actually had a point. And to me, Summer Rae kind of looked like a mix of Michelle McCool and Maurice, and the match was good. It was an awesome match, very enjoyable. So NXT definitely gets a thumbs up this week, and I just got done watching SmackDown a few minutes ago. Another match I really want to talk about right now is Ryback and Daniel Bryan. And I never thought I'd say that, but Daniel Bryan can wrestle a broomstick, and it would be over with me. Before we get to the actual match, I want to talk about Ryback's promo. First off, before we get anything into this, I want to say two things. Number one, if you're going to be a heel, drop the Feed Me More crap. It doesn't need to be used. So don't use Feed Me More whatsoever. That is a babyface deal. Stomping around like an idiot, that's a babyface deal. You don't want to do that anymore. The Ryback rules, I mean, you might as well say your name is O'Doyle, because it reminds me very much of Billy Madison. Don't talk as much, but to be totally honest, he needs a mouthpiece. I mean, this was brought up this week on, I believe, WNS, and I'm going to stick with this, and I'm going to totally agree with you guys. The mouthpiece for Ryback doesn't need to be Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman has his hands full right now with Brock Lesnar, and I think Punk's going to come back to television, and he'll probably end up being a babyface. That's what I'm thinking. And then we'll get Punk and Lesnar against each other with Heyman stuck in the middle. Obviously, he's going to turn on Punk, and that'll be the rest of his history. But if you don't want to go there, there's someone on the roster that hasn't been on television for quite a while. He was used on a house show a while back, and I think he was used during the European tour. A guy that would really help get Ryback over as a heel, John Laurinaitis. That's right, Super Dave Osborne himself needs to be Ryback's mouthpiece. Ryback needs to not talk so much. I mean, he still wrestles like a babyface. I mean, that's just how it works. And he comes out. He basically said on Raw that he knew John Cena was hurt, so therefore he couldn't tag with him. Cena chose to wrestle. Cena chose to put himself at risk, and ultimately, that's not Ryback's fault. The bigger, stronger, and faster always eat the weak. And in true Sid fashion, Ryback rules. You know, it's not bad. I mean, this promo was decent. I mean, I just talked about how much he needs a mouthpiece, and he does. But I mean, when he talks in sound bites, it works. If you have an elongated promo that he has to remember, I mean, that doesn't work. But stuff like this, when you can be pre-produced, SmackDown's really good for Ryback because SmackDown tapes on Tuesday. Spoiler alert if you didn't know already, but if you're watching this video, I'm sure you do know that. And it's pre-produced for Friday's airing, and a lot of stuff gets cut, so if the promo sounds bad live, they can edit it and make it sound amazing. Kind of like how Auto-Tune is the only reason Kesha has a career. But the thing is basically, this is great. I mean, this is why Ryback works on SmackDown. On Raw, Ryback has to be live, and his pre-tapes work better for him on Raw, as we saw the first time he cut his promo, his first heel promo. Well, when he wasn't necessarily a heel, it was just kind of teetering on the brink. So, we get Ryback and Daniel Bryan, and I'll say it right now, this is one of the best matches of the week I've seen so far. I mean, it was excellent. I really enjoyed this, and I'm telling you right now, Daniel Bryan can carry anybody to a match. This was really even. I mean, this was a great match, and Ryback showed something he doesn't show very often. He showed that he can be vulnerable at times, and it doesn't happen very often, but Daniel Bryan had him in so many precarious spots, it wasn't even funny. So, basically, Bryan kicks him in the head, Ryback catches the leg, and goes for a powerbomb, but Bryan uses momentum to Rana him over the top to the floor, and Bryan gets on the apron going for the knee strike. He jumps, Ryback catches him, rams him back first into the ring post, and rolls him back in. He does a deadlift powerbomb, and then he does it again, and then after that he sets up for the meat hook. He nails it, picks up Danielson, and nails the shell shocked. Which, like I said, I mean, I understand the stomp, stomp, stomp. I mean, it's mocking Daniel Bryan. I get that. But, seriously, guys, I mean, honestly, I don't understand why that's a baby face move. I think that's a... I mean, okay, I guess you can look at it from this perspective. I mean, it's showing heel dominance. I get that. But it's also something a babyface would do. So, I mean, got to tweak him a little bit. Like I said, get rid of Feed Me More completely. Get rid of it absolutely. He's not chanting it anymore, so that's good. And get rid of his stupid mannerisms. Get rid of anything that makes him tie with a babyface reaction. He's not getting one anymore, thankfully. So, I mean, it's working. Slowly but surely, it's working. But there's still people that want to cheer him. Then again, it's cool to cheer heels nowadays. I'm guilty. But the thing is, basically, we're looking at it from the perspective that Ryback needs to be a heel right now. He needs to decimate people. He needs to mow over people, and that's exactly what he needs to do. And he put him in the ring with Daniel Bryan, and Bryan can make anyone look good, and the match was excellent. And Ryback looked good in this match. I'm not a fan, and it's going to take a while to warm up to him, but Ryback looked really good in this match. I mean, he looked impressive, he looked dominant, and he looked vulnerable. That's exactly what it needs to look like right now, and it was really good. Excellent match, and it could have went a lot longer. It only went 12, but I could have went at least 20 minutes on this match. It was really good. I mean, it's not going to be Bryan Ziggler, but then again, not much is. So, we replay what happened on Raw, the triple threat match with Ricardo Rodriguez versus Zeb Coulter versus Biggie Langston. Ricardo, of course, rolls up Coulter and gets the pin, which means that Alberto Del Rio got to select the stipulation for Extreme Rules, which is now going to be a triple threat ladder match. But that may be all for nothing because apparently, and I can't say anything because I'm not reading spoilers on this, I just saw this as a headline on one of those news sites. I think actually SNS also mentioned it too. Apparently, there was a match between Jack Swagger and Biggie Langston on SmackDown this week, which we'll talk about on Saturday. And during a pull-apart, or during some sort of a part of the match, Dolph took a shot in the face, and Dolph may have a concussion, and if that's legitimate, then Dolph may actually have to be pulled out of Extreme Rules. So that would really suck at this point, given the fact that he's finally World Heavyweight Champion after forever, and he gets punched in the face, and that's all it takes. But they really have to take concussions seriously nowadays, and that's what they're doing with the company. I mean, just like blood. They take blood very seriously nowadays. Like, before, blood in the match would just continue. Sometimes, when blood happens now, they stop the match. or stop the match long enough to get the blood stop flowing, and then they progress, but it just really depends. Well, Ricardo comes out with a promo with Renee Young, and he says a bunch of things in Spanish that I don't understand, and that's not because of anything about him, it's just I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, I'm like Ron Burgundy, I don't speak Spanish, but I didn't have to take any foreign languages in high school, sorry. But he kisses Renee Young on the cheek. Del Rio steps in the scene, kind of calms him down a bit, and is like, stay focused, stay focused. So that match is coming up later. It's going to be a singles match with Ricardo Rodriguez taking on Zeb Coulter. Up next, Fandango. So I'm like, yay, awesome. But of course, he's going to face Zack Ryder, so I'm torn immediately. So basically what ends up happening, and this match was good because it actually made Fandango look a lot stronger than normal. He hit some new stuff. He nailed some knee strikes, and basically Ryder reverse, drop toe hold. He goes to the side step, slams him face first on the canvas, and a bunch of kicks to the back of Zack's head. He's hunched over the middle ropes, and he forearms him in the back of the head numerous times, which looks awesome, by the way, and then hits a nice high-angle toe kick to the top of the head of Ryder on the outside, because Fandango can leap, of course, and then we prove that. He gets back in, he whips Ryder to the ropes, he reverses, face plant, he hits the missile drop kick off the top, nails the broski boot, sets up for the Rough Rider. This time, he goes for it, he gets dropped chest first on the top rope, gets nailed with the side Russian leg sweep, nails the guillotine leg drop, and 1, 2, 3. So, not bad. Not bad at all. The problem with it is Monday Night on Raw, you had him lose by count out to Truth, and I don't think that works. I understand because it was to prolong the feud with Chris Jericho, but you can't really do anything with Jericho right now because he's kind of in and out because of the Fozzy tour. So, obviously we're leading towards Fandango and Jericho, probably at SummerSlam if I had to guess. But, if not before then, I don't know if they'll go Extreme Rules or Payback, but, I mean, either one could work. But, basically, you need to give him some more credible wins. I mean, this was a credible win. I mean, Zack Ryder, as much as I love Zack Ryder, I think he's awesome. It's still a name for him to beat. I mean, Ryder's a former United States champion. Don't forget that. You may see him jobbing now, but don't forget he was a former United States champion, so, they've gave him the ball before. I mean, he was one of the most popular guys. He was more popular than Cena at one point. So this match I like to call the internet darling of the moment, which is Fandango, versus the former internet darling, which is Zack Ryder. So it was alright for what it was. It went three minutes, so it was okay. It was an elongated squash, but I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It got Fandango over, but I mean, you really have to give him some more credible wins over some credible talent. Have him beating Truth would make sense, but you have to understand that they would have to make reference to something they would never do in a million years, because we're supposed to forget this even happened, because it didn't happen in the company. Truth is a former World Heavyweight Champion. So the fact that Fandango beat 2 former World Heavyweight Champions, Chris Jericho and R-Truth, that would work really well, but they didn't go that route, and he lost via countout because he was running away from Jericho and tons of funk. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got to continue to build Fandango, and I'll tell you right now, I could tell by the crowd in Detroit. I wasn't there, obviously. I was in Columbus the night before, but I could tell by the crowd that a lot of those boos were piped in. I'll tell you 100%, and I know this for a fact, for being there live Monday night. I don't know what it sounded like on television because I did not watch the show yet, but when Fandango came out, it was really over. Most everyone, except for Will, right, Will, were cheering Fandango on, and he even ended the show with a drive safe, and it was awesome. So, he continues to be over with me, and I proudly am a Fandango fan, so, yeah, there's always that. So we go backstage, and we see Kim Possible, and she is getting another cheesy love text. She reads it to Natty, who has got her arm around Kali. God, when we end this crap, please? Could Natty just work for the Divas Championship and not do anything with this oddities group that I hate so much? Caitlyn goes that Kali always has the best advice. Says a bunch of stuff to Caitlyn, talking about, like, you gotta stay calm, you can't be stressed out all the time. I can barely speak Cully, but it's somewhat there. And I had the volume up pretty loud on my television. I still could barely understand what Cully was saying. That's nothing offensive to him. It's just I couldn't understand him. And he does say, any advice you need, get it from me. Don't stress too much. That was the exact wording we used. So I'm happy to see they're doing something with the Divas division. I'm sure Juliet's very happy about that too when she gets a chance to watch it. But get rid of Cully. I mean, make him a special attraction or something. Get Natty away from him. Let her contend for the Divas Championship. I mean, come on. This is what they're leaning towards in TNA, with Mickie James going heel and going after Velvet Sky. Why don't we do this in WWE? Why don't we have Natty go heel and have her basically take the Divas Championship off of Caitlyn? But we can't really do that because we have to have the Chick Busters exploding, so AJ can get the Divas Championship off of Caitlyn. So can't really do that for now, but at least we have storylines. I mean, that's a step in the right direction. So, I'm not going to talk about John Cena's Make-A-Wish because we had to see it twice on the show. It was really awesome. It was a great moment. Cena's a very stand-up guy. Like him or not, you got to understand, he's a class act in every way possible. He flew to New York, did that steez with Kathy Lee and Hoda, whatever her name is. The other woman, Hoda, sure. And then flew to Columbus for Raw. So it was alright. Wasn't bad at all. I mean, Cena's a jam-up guy. Like him or not, wrestling-wise, John Cena as in person is really admirable person. So, yeah, well, I'm getting close to getting the Cena shirt, but I probably won't do it till at least October, so there you go. If you're going to get me to do it, it's probably going to happen at SmackDown when we go back on October 8th, because SmackDown is going to be live in the Nationwide Arena in Columbus on October 8th, and Pop's going there, so me, Ben, and Will will all be going to SmackDown. So, Kristen's going too, but I mean, she's not part of Pop yet. She may end up being somewhere down the road. Ben, is Kristen going to be part of Pop? We'll find out sooner rather than later. So, we see Renee Young backstage once again. Apparently, she is the SmackDown interviewer. And she's with Zeb Coulter and the Dark Patriot, Jack Swagger. Coulter said the WWE alters things to better their own personal agenda. On Raw, he had 100-degree fever, and he had vertigo, and night sweats, and all sorts of randomness, but he still went to work. People on Twitter said Zeb's performance on Monday was one of the single most inspiring moments they have ever seen. Some call him a role model. His victory is awarded to an illegal immigrant that has no place in our country. He could go to the police, but he's not going to. He's going to take care of it himself. We, the people. Yeah, I know, the internet thing is better to say, weed the people. Anyway, come back for commercial break, and Ricardo is going to be facing off against Zeb Coulter. And we see Big E Langston standing there, and AJ is on Dolph's lap, so Dolph's on commentary for this match, and that's awesome. So this is what I call ECW style booking. Basically what they did was they started off with one match, then they segued into another match, and by the time we were done, we had 3 matches in one, with different people getting involved. This stuff usually involved, like, Public Enemy, and the Gangstas, and the Dudley Boys, and the Eliminators, Sabu and Rob Van Dam. I mean, this is how this stuff got started in ECW. So, I mean, that's what I call this. I call this ECW style booking. So basically what happened was, I'll tell you right now real quick, Ziggler got off the line of the night when he said that Zeb Coulter looked like Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. That made me laugh my head off. He called him the bad guy from Sonic, but his name's Dr. Robotnik, and that's pretty awesome. I really love that reference that Dolph threw out there. That's a nice little to everyone. I don't have my glasses on, but if I did, that's what I'm doing. Star Wars. Anyway, that's a Conan O'Brien reference, if you didn't know. So, basically, Coulter beats him up a little bit. He turns around for some advice from Jack Swagger. Ricardo nails him with a couple right hands. Swagger comes in, clotheslines Ricardo, DQ. Here comes the Mac Militant himself. Peanut Head runs to the ring and says, yeah, hold on, playa, slow your roll, the normal steez, Teddy says. And basically, when he stops rambling, we find out it's going to be a tag match with Ricardo and ADR against Zeb and Jack. Ziggler says, "Classic Teddy," coming out and booking a tag team match. That's very good for WWE to absolutely acknowledge their very repetitive booking. Come back from a commercial break and we get the tag match. So Swagger's in control of Ricardo as we come back from break. Ricardo's whipped into the shoulder and attempts to spear him again. Ricardo with a leapfrog. ADR gets tagged in. He nails the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and he hits the forearms to the back and he goes for the lung blower. And he nailed it this time. Dolph and Biggie get in the ring and double disqualification. Here comes Teddy again. Okay, player, let's do this my way. We're going to have you guys want to roll this way? We're going to have ourselves a triple threat match. A triple threat tag team match. So the ECW style booking continues, and we get to the finish here. Biggie pulls the singlet down. He nails Alberto with a nice high elevation back body drop, shoves ADR into the corner spine first, nails a spear, tags Dolph back in. Dolph charges Alberto, and he goes for the splash. There's nobody home. Tags in Swagger, and there's a nice little Donnybrook. Zeb and Alberto are left in the ring. Ziggler nails that nice elevated DDT on Del Rio, and he kicks out at 2. Del Rio and Ziggler are in. He rolls in, locks in the Jujigatami, and basically a tap out from a Dolph. So, in essence, Dolph loses again, but the World Heavyweight Champion has now lost cleanly to both Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio, who are his challengers for the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules. So, needless to say, they're building up the challengers to be a more credible force against the champion. We know Ziggler's going to retain if the match even happens, but you have to build credibility for the challengers, or there's no point for the match to even happen at all. That's what they're doing with building credibility for both Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio by having them both go over cleanly on Dolph Ziggler. Basically thinking that they could possibly win the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules, even though they won't. So we get the Shield backstage. Oh my god, I love these promos. The Shield with the gorilla-style promos. So they beat Daniel Bryan senseless. They call out Kane. They took his brother down. Kane's next. Kane doesn't believe them, but by the end of the night, he will believe in the Shield. They kick Bryan a couple more times, and they walk away. We come back commercial break, and I don't care about what happened on... Well, I do care about it because I was there, but pretty much we find the Raw rebound was stuff that happened recently. It's basically chronicling with Paul Heyman getting pedigreed by Triple H, and the challenge was accepted for the cage match at Extreme Rules, so whatever. This is SmackDown, I don't want to hear about Raw. Like on Raw, I don't want to hear about SmackDown, but they never do that because Raw's the flagship show, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So we get, after commercial break, the refs and the trainer are checking on Daniel Bryan. His shirt's ripped, he's holding his stomach, the refs carry him out, and that's the end of that. We get Randy Orton against Damian Sandow, which, like I said, this match led to what happened on Raw that I've already reviewed on Monday night, or Tuesday morning in this case. So, basically, Sandow hits a DDT, gets the 2, hits the side Russian leg sweep, hits the Kobe Toakiet twice, lock up again, Orton nails a headbutt, hits the European, and hits the ropes. Nails a nice dropkick. Orton fights back. Sandow rolls to the outside. Orton nails the snake bite. Sandow up. RKO. 1, 2, 3. So, Cody's match against him on Raw was a lot better. Not just saying because it was in person. I watched it in person. It was a better match overall and had a lot more time to develop. Sandow never looked like a threat, and that's a problem. It was 6:43 actually was the match, and pretty much after that was over, we see the Big Show come out, and what he did was he taunted Orton for the distraction. So Sandow Pearl Harbors him from behind, nails the Terminus, and lays him out, left the Big Show laughing, so we're leading to Randy Orton and the Big Show at Extreme Rules. I think if it hasn't already been announced for SmackDown, it'll probably be announced on SmackDown on Friday. So I didn't read the rules, see if it was, did the spoilers, see if it was announced or not, but that's what I'm thinking. Come back to commercial break, and we're going to have an arm wrestling match, because obviously we have to have something weird in this show, because we had a tug-of-war between Mark Henry and Sheamus that ended with a brogue kick, and Sheamus to make Mark Henry look like a fool. And now this week we have another way for him to make him look like a fool with an arm wrestling contest. So basically, they do right arm. Mark Henry wins. Sheamus put up a little bit of fight. That's about it. So Sheamus goes, okay, you have the best right arm, but can you beat me with your left arm? So Mark Henry's like, yeah, okay, that's apparently what I'm going to do as well. So beat people with both arms. That's what I do. So Sheamus comes out on top because he cheap shots Mark Henry right in the top of the head, nails a brogue kick, and Sheamus is looking really strong, making me think that Mark Henry is going to murder him at Extreme Rules. I think the fact that you're booking Sheamus to be on top for all of this makes me think that Mark Henry is going to mow him over at the pay-per-view, and that's how it should be. Mark Henry should be challenging for Cena's championship and not languishing away in a upper mid-card feud with Sheamus on SmackDown. Because Mark Henry is that good. I never thought I'd say that back when '96 when he got signed and he did all that stupid stuff with Jerry Lawler and the Mark Henry stuff. I mean, he was great in the Nation, even though he was made fun of by Sean Waltman. That made me laugh, the Mark Henry stuff. But the Mae Young stuff, we're going to gloss over that completely. But when Mark Henry came back and became the world's strongest man, and they actually pushed that as a heel, he's been a very credible superstar. And I'm telling you right now, Mark Henry has another world title or a heavyweight championship of some sort, WWE or World, in his future, somewhere down the road. And I think if he destroys Sheamus, that's one step in the right direction. So, basically, we come back to see the recap. Triple H is challenged to the steel cage match. And, I don't care. I don't care at all. So, I don't want to see this match again. The only way this match needs to end is Triple H needs to be destroyed in the cage. Brock Lesnar needs credibility. If they really want to push this Brock Lesnar match that they dearly want at WrestleMania 30, Brock has to get some credibility. And he lost to Cena. He lost to Triple H. He has to lose. He can't lose again. Because if he loses again, then what's the marketability about booking him against The Rock? What's the marketability about booking him against The Undertaker? There is some with The Undertaker, obviously. But it's more of like an MMA style fight. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it'd be booked. But you got to do something to build Lesnar up, so he has to destroy Triple H. He has to maim Triple H in the cage, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. There's going to be a lot of blood spilled, and by the time the match is over, Triple H is getting carried out. So that's my prediction. We'll talk about that later. So we get to our final match of the evening, which is Dean Ambrose, who is absolutely awesome right now, and totally the standout member of the Shield, taking on Kane. So, basically, Kane hits the top rope clothesline and only gets a 2 count. Ambrose takes the choke slam. Kane goes for the tombstone after cutting the throat. Rollins with the distraction. They brawl on the outside. Kane sends Rollins in the steps, so he knocks them both out of the way. Ambrose waits for Kane to get back in the ring, locks up the headlock, and hits the Bulldog driver for a clean win. Clean pinfall win without any interference in the Shield. They were there, but they did not really contribute to his win. So that works fine for me because it makes Ambrose look awesome. And after the show was over, Kane basically wanted to fight them all by himself. The numbers game was too much for him. The Shield laid them out and raised the World Tag Team Championships in the air, basically saying the Shield are going to beat Hell No for the tag team titles as early as Extreme Rules, if I had to guess. So to finish the pomegranate blueberry before we're done. Great show. Great SmackDown. Great NXT. So really enjoyable. And like I said, wrestling fans, tomorrow there will be something. I don't know. We'll be talking TNA Impact on Friday morning. And we will obviously be talking SmackDown and NXT again on Saturday morning. And Extreme Rules is coming up, not next week, but not this week, but the week after. The same night as the final episode of Celebrity Apprentice. So this Sunday we'll find out who is going to be in the final 2. Because right off the bat, 2 people are getting fired. We're getting their final task, which is going to be, like I said before, Walgreens Delish ice cream flavor and an ice cream social and a subsequent party to put over the new flavor. So that's what's going to happen. So, good episode of both, and I look forward to continuing to recap NXT. Once again, if you like these videos, leave a comment, do subscribe, view these videos as many times as you possibly can, share them on social networking, share them on your Facebook, share them on your Twitter, retweet them on Twitter, tell everyone about them. If you're a wrestling fan, you want to hear my interesting opinions on what's going on from someone who's actually been in the ring before, unlike a lot of you, basically, then go right ahead. Spread the word about this, and you can follow me on Twitter at SirOwenDisney. And like I said, if you want to contribute to the Podcaster Revolution, SirOwenDisney@gmail.com to send all your contributions, your videos, and we're going to put you on pop. So I'm going to get off here. Once again, thank you guys for joining me, and we will be talking Impact in 2 days. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.